Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Whoo! I tell you, um, as you know, I have been doing a project around the house, and I was looking forward to this being a very, 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 very quiet week. Um, Not much to talk about. Well, plenty to talk about. Let me stop saying that. Plenty to talk about because of the up and coming trip to Canada. So I was just still had my little buzz from that, of course, and so yeah, I was just gonna nurse that buzz as long as I could and enjoy it, and nurse that buzz as long as I could and enjoy it. But fate had other ideas. And what's so eerie is that some of this stuff we have been talking about. We have been talking about this stuff like a regency. We have been speaking about a regency. And it looks like there's a possibility that there's going to be a regency. At some point, there's going to be a regency. Um, uh, Charles was a regent in all but name only. In all but name only, Charles was working as a regent for his mother. And we just could not call it that because, well, nobody called it that. It was what it was. And Charles had kind of seized control of a lot of things. And I don't have a problem with that because having sat around all those years, he had to do something. He had to do something. It wouldn't be fair to anyone to sit idly by and do nothing. And he did stuff with his time, some of it good, some of it bad, some of it seemed like he was plotting against his own child for the sake of his emotional support consort, that sort of thing. But I'll get into that later. Um, but definitely, we're not going to shy away from that topic because it is central to the conversation. Before one feels anything, um, we have to remember that's not our father, that's Harry's father. That being said, nobody limits their opinions about uh, the Sussexes. Nobody limits their opinions about Meghan, right? Everybody feels entrenched in their idea of what's wrong and what's right, and they say what they say. Now, I'll just say I do believe that people who call themselves monarchists or the royal supporters and such, their idea of defending or standing up um, is bullying, is threats, is racist, misogynistic. There's a lot of things you can call it. And I'm going to say all of it is true because they are terrible. Flooding the inboxes of companies and corporations just to wreak as much havoc as possible. Stuff that I would like to say that the Sussex Squad would never dream of. Right. So my point is, we're gonna keep it real. We're not gonna go, all out, but we're gonna keep it real. I don't want to be a hypocrite. Yeah, I don't want to be a hypocrite, no matter what's going on. I don't plan to be a hypocrite, and I'm not going to. So, okay, let me take a look over here and see who was first. Okay. Oh wow, you guys have been having quite a conversation. Helen Marmon, thank you so much for being first. And Connie Balmer! Hey Connie Balmer, thank you so much for being here. I know it's a bit of an odd hour for you, but thank you so much. Ingrid Sowers, Lydia Washington. Okay, let me see. Love Wins Movement. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, this why today? I mean, I know it can't be helped, but I'm tired. If you knew how much work I've done the past couple of days, my back is killing me. But I could not be here, so don't feel sorry for me. I could not be here. This is earth shaking. Hello, Mystic Toxin. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much. Okay. Hey, Susie Q. All right. Let me see. Elaine Parker. I hope you're feeling better, Elaine Parker. They say you were under the weather. I do hope and pray you are feeling better. Speaking of feeling better, I know I got something for what I'm feeling right now. Got to be something around here. No, I'm gonna need something stronger than that. I know I got something for what I'm feeling. Ooh. Okay. Maybe I can get those slides up. How about that? How about that? No, that's from yesterday. Why do I have yesterday's slide here? That is weird. Wait, I am live. Why do I have yesterday's slide? Oh well, let me get today's slide. That is so weird. I don't even remember retrieving that. Whew. Okay, that's trippy. Oh man. Give me just a second, you guys. What am I doing? Today is the 5th. Yes, it's the 5th. Okay. Well, any place that you can go, and anything that you can show, and anything that you can know, you know they're nouns. A noun's a special kind of word. It's anything you ever heard. I find it quite interesting. A noun's a person, place, or thing. Yeah, now is a person, place, or thing. Okay, I was stalling. I am ready now. The slides should be coming up very soon. Very soon. Give me just a second here. Okay. Let me see. Okay, do that. I'm talking myself through this. Mrs. Jones is a lady who lives on Hudson Street. She sent a dog to bark at my brother and me. Why does that? Oh, okay. It's not up yet. I'm just like, why can't I get rid of this slide? All right. All right. There we go. That's for today. And no, the yellow teeth were not deliberate. That was just the first photo that I found that seemed to work. Oh, Lord. I didn't drop my bell. Ugh. Okay. All right. King Charles III, Cancer. Prince Harry travels to his father. That's supposed to be his father's side. I forgot part of it. Okay. Deirdre Mikey, hi Baron and Squaddies. I immediately thought about Royal Sussex when I heard the news. Oh, well, thank you very much for that. Thank you. That is quite a compliment. That means that you trust me, and that is so important to me. Yes, absolutely. Prayers to our Elaine Parker. Yes, may you feel your 100% sooner rather than later. Okay. Okay. All right. So I feel a sense of deja vu. Let me get started here. Well, the clouds seem to gather over Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace, built for the Duke of Buckingham, is clad on the front side with that beautiful white Portland stone. They call that stone self-cleaning because as the stone is attacked by the weather, as it rains, it seems to wash away the filth. It's a self cleaning stone, but still it gets dirty, but beautiful facade. Well, that is the Buckingham Palace today. The old Buckingham Palace, well, you can see that behind this facade is that honey color stone. I guess it's like bath stone. If it isn't bath stone, is something close to it. But bath stone, because of its high iron content, tends to look very yellowish, beautiful. Even on an overcast day, it looks brilliant. Well, that place, which is very well known around the world as the residence of the Queen when she's in London, and now Charles is king, and he's decided that he didn't really want to live there. So when they issue a statement, it tends to come from Clarence House rather than Buckingham Palace. But either way, what does it matter? It's still the institution. It is probably something that was drafted by one of the courtiers and then presented to the public as the gospel, right? Uh, Lisi D says William is much like his dad, but he looks like his mom. Here, here. And thank you so much for the super sticker, but that is very accurate. He acts more like his father, but he looks so much like his mother. And where that acting like his father is concerned, I would say the very petty, uh, very, oh gosh. Yeah, I'm going to say the pettiness part is definitely Charles III. The pettiness is clearly Charles III. But when it comes to maintaining well, I can't say that. Charles is better with affairs of state. Charles is better with public relations and such. He's much better because William tends to issue things that have no substance. Um, Charles limits what he will present because he knows the limitation of his position. Now that he's king, he's in a bigger box than he was before because he can't get all political and get away with it. So that's why people are holding their breath, because we don't know if William recognizes the limitations of being king. So that is the great unknown. Is what will what will William do once he has that extra added authority, possibly a regent or possibly acting as a council of state? Either way, I would say do not let him near anything important. Do not, people have been saying for the past couple days that there are some elements of William's behavior that reminds them of Donald Trump. There's certain things about him, and hear me out. I'm not saying that he's just like a Donald Trump, but there seems to be certain elements of his behavior, a complete lack of intellectual curiosity, a total disregard for the way things are done, right? I don't care about the Commonwealth. I don't, I'm not going to be the head of the church. And even if he did not write those things or did not present those things, it seemed as to me that if you are going to take over that role, you would want to reassure the public that that's all a bunch of hooey. There has been no directives to straighten out anything because we know they float those ideas. And that's why people are nervous right now. Because if Charles is not able to function in his role as king, was it just yesterday or was it 2 days ago? How many times did I said William's not ready? William's not prepared. William doesn't have the temperament. William should not be king. He's not ready. I said that over and over and over again. He's not that bright. Kate is just about as bad. They are not suitable. They're not fit for perfect a purpose. I repeated that over and over and over again. And that's why I am so spooked by this, because how in the world are we sitting here having this conversation right now? I promise you, I was not expecting this to be any topic of conversation this week, the next week, a month from now. I was not expecting that. I'm not doing a victory lap. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just stating what a lot of people already know. William's not fit for purpose. And if you are of the opinion, well, what does it matter? It has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. That nut pulling the levers of power, and it doesn't have anything to do with Harry and Meghan, think again. Think again. Because he's so petty and so reactive all the time, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. And it's not just the idea, okay, this is something that can become, so terrible or so awful. But he's already demonstrated the ability to leak and brief against his brother. The reason why they lost their security and their allowance was because of someone who worked for William. Not for Charles, but for William. I cannot help but think or believe that having him any closer to that throne, even if it's just to take on extra added duties, is terrifying. Terrifying. But here we are. There's no mechanism to refuse him the ability to get that close to power. So the world will just have to hold its breath and see what happens. I recommend pray for Charles. I say pray for Charles. Didn't want to have to think about this. I was even wondering, in my lifetime, would I even see this moment? Not knowing that within a couple of days that we'd be much closer than I ever could have dreamt. I'm just like, darn, how did that happen? That was fast. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, as I said, and by the way, thank you, Lucy D, for the super chat. The clouds are gathering, literally and figuratively. The clouds have gathered, and the world waits. The world waits. Oh boy. So there, of course, is Prince Harry, Princess Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They fled, they left, they ran for their lives to get away from Kensington Palace and the Kensington crew. And of course, the evil stepmother, right? And of course, the very shallow, what is the word I'm looking for? Petulant father. Another good reason to get away. I mean, these people cost, as far as I'm concerned, they cost the Sussexes an unborn child with their messiness. And I'm going to stick with that one. I'm not going to ever pretend I feel otherwise. I'm not going to pardon myself or caution myself. No, that's what I believe, is that collectively they cost the life of an unborn child. And if they're capable of doing that and not even blinking their eyes, what else are they capable of? What else are they capable of? What a sorry state of affairs. Okay. Who? Is there any chance? Okay, that's not for me, I'm sure. Uh, okay. I'm not worried about Harry being sucked back into the royal family. I just hope Harry checks on Kate while he's there. Check on her for what? They wouldn't. I don't. I no, 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 no. Let her family worry about that. If you push that hard to get her into that situation, you look after her. Let the family do it. Let the family do it. They were so giddy to have such close proximity to power. Let them figure it out. Not Harry. Harry doesn't need to sort that one out. And I'm saying that as someone who's just as curious as the next. And yes, I will admit I'm even concerned for Kate in a very Judeo-Christian type of way. I am very concerned about Kate. Um, I don't wish anything bad on her or anything like that, but I do want everyone in that family to experience whatever it is that they wanted so desperately for Harry and Meghan to experience. That I do hope for. I hope that whatever uh, they may have planned that has been so maniacal or twisted or dare I say even malicious toward the Sussexes, may they enjoy it tenfold, right? If it was good enough for the Sussexes, surely it's good enough for them because after all, they're royals. They would never do anything or say anything bad, would they? Not according to all the tabloids who seem to dance to their music. Yeah, so I guess I shouldn't hesitate to feel that way, should I? I mean, after all, it's just keeping in line with the way things have been. Okay. Let me see here. Hey, Church Nelly. Yeah, crotch and chicken hidden egg. The I don't think is considered gossip. I mean, it's just a matter of they don't share. They're not forthcoming, and they are public people, and we have a right to ask questions. We have a right to ask questions, whether they're willing or able to divulge those things is of no consequence, because again, if we judge them by the same standards that they have judged the Sussexes, especially when you consider what the Sussexes went through with what should have been their, child, but unfortunately a child that was lost during a time of a great deal of pressure and anxiety and constant leaking and briefing leaking and briefing. And if you think that that's not enough to cause problems, health problems for someone or even an unborn child, imagine what it's like every day to wake up and realize that there are tens of thousands of people out there that just hate you because of what somebody else has told them about you. People who work in the media that should be believed because they're in the media. If they're saying it on television, it must be true. That took a toll. That took a toll. And then, of course, being in a lawsuit involving her father, they both lost their fathers. Their fathers are alive, but they both lost their fathers because of their behavior. So while I am sympathetic to the other people in that family, my loyalty, my consideration lies with the Sussexes. And I don't hesitate to say that because they have been the ones that have been brutalized by that system that wants to turn despair into a laughing stock, a buffoon, a shield, so that he can protect the rest of them from themselves, from what they're lacking. And that's the way it's been. And it shouldn't be that way. Harry deserves to be respected for the sacrifices that he's made and for the person that he's become through no help from them, of course. Their idea was to impede, to block, obstruct, not to support. Let me see here. Sorry about the rant, but I feel a certain way. Let's see, Baron. We just know things, right, Mystic Toxin? I mean, we've been observing. One can't help but to notice the obvious. It's right there. And of course, when people at that institution, when they're doing the worst, when they're doing the most and the worst, they don't try to hide it. They want you to know that it was me that hurt you. They want you to know that it was me who humiliated you. They don't even try to hide what they do. Okay, if you can't tell, I'm kind of walking around. I do apologize. Let me get comfortable. It's, believe it or not, it's a bit chilly in here. Give me just a second, you guys. I am catching a chill. Oh, okay, got it. Sorry, you guys. I'm coming. Can't believe I'm catching a chill. All right. Ah, that's better. That is better. Wunderbar. It's wonderful. Okay, I still got plenty charge on here. Thank you, Mystic Toxin, for your comment. Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Hey, Mashar. Lola Love. Okay, let me continue. All right, so take a look at this. Harry's Mercy Dash. That's just one of the headlines. Now, as much as there are probably, and I do not doubt, even though I see the Royal Rota and the tabloid media, I see them as some of the most cynical people that have ever drawn a breath. They're also probably a bit nervous right now. They have been doing the most to try to protect Will and Kate from their own self-images, from their own lacking, for their own shortcomings. They have been protecting them. And the way they have protected them was to do everything that they could to destroy Harry and Meghan. They're not going after anyone else in the family, even someone who forced his mother to pay out £12 million to someone he never met for something he certainly didn't do. They don't target that one. every so often they are complicit in his what do you call it, his rehabilitation. They try to help him recover his reputation, right? And then when there's a public outcry, they join in the attempt to put a lid back on him. Let me see. Jennifer Clark, thank you so much. Oh, that wasn't so good, was it? Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you very much for being here also. Okay. Now, let's get back into the Wayback Machine, shall we? Back around the 1st of September of 2022, was it? Yeah, 2022. Prince Harry made this trip to Africa with some American big shots. I think there was a senator or two or something like that. And it wasn't announced. We had no idea it was coming. We knew nothing about it. Harry got in there and got out. He wasn't there as a grandstand or something like that. It was not a royal tour. It wasn't any of those things. It was about the people and the wildlife, but it was not about Harry. He made sure of that. Of course, his name is the draw. Of course, he can manage to get people to do things that otherwise may not have happened, but for the fact that his name is thrown in there, and people that are inspired by him, people who like him, people who trust him, may feel more inclined to join Harry in whatever pursuits, right? It's a good deal for them. And for him, it helps him to do his humanitarian work. It helps him to do his universal service. It just is what it is. But it doesn't have to necessarily translate into, oh, this is, they're trying to use him or something like that. This is stuff that he would do anyway. But we were just surprised to see him there, right? And then, do you guys remember this? Harry and Meghan, sorry about the pap photos, but I'm trying to tell a story. Harry and Meghan were papped on the streets of London back in September of 2022. All of a sudden, there's Meghan wearing those. I wonder if those are the same pants that she wore in Dusseldorf. But anyway, she's got the big baggy wide leg pants on, and she has on a very simple yet elegant crew neck top. Um, cute, cute. And what a surprise it was to see them. We weren't expecting this. So, this is how September of 2022 was going. And it was like we all knew it was Sussex September. They were on their way to the One Young World. Then they also had the, what was it, the trip to Dusseldorf. And let me see, did they do the whale child? Oh, the whale child they could not do because, well, I'll get to that. They were not able to go to the whale child. Okay, so this is what we were looking at. And I'm just like, oh, finally, finally. They fled for their lives back in March. Well, they announced in January, was it? Or was it just before Christmas? And then they fled for their lives in March. And so much haste was it to get out of there that they literally had to pretend like they were on vacation, which they were on vacation when you think about it. But a cynical person would say they were so afraid of what might happen that they had to pretend like they're on vacation. Well, I can believe that because not only do you have to worry about that family, but there were threats from some people, some of which are in jail right now. There were threats. So nothing that they can do in the future can just be, this open affair. There has to be some element of stealth to it through no fault of their own. But that's just the way it is. B. Martim says, Baron, the sad part is that the British media is already starting their mess and asking about the children. Sad. Yes. Oh, thank you so much for the super sticker. But yes, they have opened their cynical, cruel mouths to ask about the Sussex children, which um, is disturbing. I mean that oh God, that makes me feel a certain way. Leave those kids alone. Keep those kids' names out of your mouth. They're not for the consumption of the tabloid media. Not at all. So this was actually the back door of a rail station, I believe it was. They were, using the most secure way to move about London. So they went through the back door, and I believe they took a train to. And also, while people are calling the Sussexes the eco hypocrites, or they're trying to make them out to be liars or out of touch. Truth is, Harry and Meghan used the train several times while they were working royals. Several times. They did not have access to the helicopter. I don't think I've ever seen them use one of those helicopters. Ever. I don't recall ever seeing Harry use a helicopter. I mean, I'm sure he has, but I don't recall him ever using one. So that speaks volumes right there. He's not um, afraid to hop on the train. He has no, uh, what do you call it? No hesitation about taking the train. When they went to Cardiff that time, they took the train. They were late because they took the train. The train was late. So, okay. Again, thank you, B. Martin, for the super chat. I'm sorry it's about that topic, but thank you for bringing it up. We all need to know that that's what they're doing. And Lee CD, thank you so much again for the super sticker. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so um, that's part of the Wayback Machine. Let's continue on this road, shall we? So there they are at that event for the One Young World. Oh, you know what? It's a polo shirt. It's not a crew neck. It's a polo shirt. Why did I think that was a polo shirt? Yeah, she has a collar. Yeah, she's wearing a polo shirt. What a simple yet classy look for her. And look at that. Look at that. Meghan, who is supposed to be this terrible, terrible person who just has to have her way. Do you see that she is sitting there at this function smiling? She doesn't care about taking a train. What does she care about taking a train? She is with her husband. Who cares? Long as we get to the people we're supposed to see, I don't care if we're taking a train. All of the terrible things that they have said about them, none of which rings true. It is just some way to distract from the real problems, and that people are using these um, situations that are really there to benefit other people, and they turn them into something that they shouldn't be. One of their favorite things is to accuse someone of using word salad. If it's someone that they don't like, it's word salad. When the truth, well, we know who has the word salad. We know who has word salad. We know who takes a month of Sundays to practice saying just a few words because they're so prone to word salad. Yeah. So that grates on my nerves. That really grates on my nerves. Okay. But yeah, so that hey Harlem girl, that is how September started. September 22. There's the group shot. Love that image. Our Duchess looking very casual yet chic, right? She always knows just what to wear. She always knows just what to wear. And no one could have expected to see her in a polo shirt. And yet, she looks so elegant. She's in a polo shirt, but yet she doesn't look. You know how sometimes you're in a commercial space or something like that, and you see someone in a polo shirt, and you be like, Miss, can you tell me where the restrooms are? Well, she definitely doesn't have that. Oh, that could be an employee look. It's very obvious she does not work there. She is, you know, one of the official people there. But I'm just saying that to demonstrate the fact that when she wears a polo shirt, it is very deliberate. I'm just stepping outside of what we're talking about to point that out. Where for her, it is chic and elegant, effortlessly chic. Just point it out. Just giving our fave some love, but it is true. Casual yet smart. And Harry's wearing his suede shoes. Yeah, so if you're going to wear a polo shirt, I'm wearing my suede shoes. That is why their relationship is so strong. And also, when you see Harry wearing those suede shoes, then we know that Meghan didn't send him off to the Goodwill. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure if we didn't see him for a while, people would assume that, but no. I don't think he's worn them that much, but yeah, he's wearing his blue suede shoe. I mean his suede shoes. Okay, let's keep going. So right here, Meghan Markle's popularity surges in U.S. after latest interview in extraordinary poll. More than two-thirds of Americans surveyed said they thought more favorably of the Duchess after her controversial interview with The Cut. Oh yeah, I forgot to include The Cut. I forgot to include The Cut. That also happened that month, right? I'm telling you, September 2022 was meant to be a rollout. Now, I know we're supposed to talk about some other stuff, but I'm getting there. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Um, and so there she goes into the one young world, looking fabulous. She gave a speech to thunderous applause. Everything was going their way. Everything. I mean, they couldn't put a foot wrong. Look at there. Everybody carried the speech, right? They were glad to have Harry. I mean, even though they won't admit it, the tabloids were so glad and so relieved to have them around because, well, after all, it was the start of a big rollout. They would have something to nag and complain about if Harry and Meghan were in the paper every day. And of course, when they got to Dusseldorf, look at them rolling out the red carpet. They went inside of the town hall and signed the book, right? The same book that the Queen signed. And I think perhaps Princess Diana, maybe. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the Queen signed that book before in Dusseldorf at their visitors book. So yeah, there you go. It was luscious. I was full. It was just amazing. You hear the excitement in my voice when I'm talking about Sussex September 2022. Lacey D, thank you so much for the super sticker. So, what could possibly go wrong? Thousands of people out there to greet them, red carpet, all the officials in Dusseldorf standing behind them. And even a year later, when they had the Invictus games, true to form, they really, really, really rolled out the red carpet. And don't forget, they used a German government jet to take them from London or wherever they was to Dusseldorf and back. So I'm excited. You're excited. Everybody was excited. This was a good time. What could have possibly put a dent in this? Denise Dublin, I ask you, what went wrong? I mean, this was perfect. And thank you so much for the super sticker. Look at the crowds. Harry, Meghan, Harry, Meghan. Oh my goodness. That was phenomenal. Yes, my heart still goes on. That was fantastic. Okay. And of course, I'm going to have to point this out to you because it made sense. Harry looked a certain way. He had to have known that this happiness was going to be hijacked, was going to be disrupted, that there was going to be something within the next few days that was going to change everything. Um, Susie, Mom, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being here. But something was fixing to change. So, Dusseldorf, thank you very much for looking after our faves. Meghan looked absolutely radiant. We hadn't seen her for a while. And there she is, looking fantastic. That outfit sold out. People couldn't stop talking about it. Everything was bliss. And then, of course, the clouds gathered. The clouds gather as they often do. Oh God, you guys. I'm gonna have to come down off of this buzz I got right now. Liz Truss went to Balmoral and shook the Queen's hand. Yes, she went to Balmoral and shook the Queen's hands. And nothing has ever been the same since. Now, I'm not blaming her for a global pandemic. I'm not blaming her for the floods in California, for tornadoes, landslides, or anything like that. But don't ever, ever touch me if your name is Liz Truss. Don't touch me. You ain't right. Something wrong with you. She cannot be trusted. She went to go and shake hands with the Queen, and the history of the Western civilization changed forever. Yep, it changed forever. Nothing has been the same. It's been one calamity after the other. I mean, the Queen was able to stand up and shake hands, and not long after, she took to her bed, never to return again. Liz Truss. Harlem Girl, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you kindly for being here. Yeah, the Queen took to her bed with her red box by her side, and she never came back out of that room again. Not alive, because she shook hands with Liz Truss. Oh, yeah. So that is what happened. The Sussexes were primed for their Sussex September, and I was so excited. Remember, I stayed up. I made that video. I think it was like maybe 14 minutes long, and it was everything that I could share from that event all of the little, what do you call it? The amateur videos and stuff that people uploaded. And it was a pleasure to do that. And sometimes when I had a bad day, I would go and look at that and I would feel that excitement all over again. And it was something to be excited about. Let me see. I, can I show you a little bit of it? I think I can. Okay, I will share some more of this with you later. It is kind of a longer video. I think it's like 10 or maybe 14 minutes long or something. But I'll share some more of it with you later. But that is where we were in September of 2022. But it was interrupted by the Queen's passing. And there's the plane that they thought for sure had William and I'm sorry, that had Harry and Meghan. The guy on the news even announced what appears to be the aircraft carrying the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. When it turns out it was Will and Sophie, and of course, the Count of Wessex, because, well, um, Kate didn't want to come, and they didn't want Meghan to be there and be supportive because that would have made Kate look bad. So Charles said in a very rude way that Meghan couldn't come, and Harry had to check him for talking to his wife and getting out of pocket like that. And anyway, it's just a reminder of how cruel Charles can be sometimes. That on an occasion like that, he chose that occasion to say some negative, nasty things about his daughter in law, who has been nothing but kind to him. But okay, that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to go back to that. But I will remind people whenever I get the opportunity that he did get out of pocket. He did start acting funny, Charles, that is. Now, Aberdeen, Balmoral, the announcement. Don't pay attention to these numbers. They were deliberately skewed to try to make Harry look bad. But let me remind you of something. Look at this. The tabloids, the Daily Mail was the first, if I recall, that referred to Archie and Lily as Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. The palace didn't change anything, and it wasn't until the Sussexes publicly referred to Lily as Princess Lily Diana, or Lilibet Diana, that anybody officially changed it at the palace. So, just a reminder about that. Okay, direct from the Ministry of Propaganda. There is Charles. He is walking into the church. Now, I have to tell you guys, I have heard this over and over again. Charles has not been well for quite some time. He has not been well for quite some time. And according to someone close to the king and the queen consort, Charles has not been feeling well for a while. And the queen consort, well, she's not in the best of health either. I repeat, she is not in the best of health. If one was to go by the appearances alone, I would say it seems like the queen consort is rather healthy. But I've also heard that she used to drink a lot and still do, and that she smoked cigarettes like a chimney. So don't know, but that is what I've read here and there. But yeah, I can't say for 100. I know, but they both are not in the best of health. And whatever was going on with Charles, they let me point this out. Yes, Charles went for his prostate, right? He went for them to do whatever to their prostate. They said it wasn't cancerous. Now, if you follow what they have put out there, they said not cancerous, no need to worry. Then we find out that through their procedure, they detected cancer. So they're not saying that the cancer is um, part of the prostate. They're not saying that, which is kind of scary because if that is the case, that is not in the area where you are already working, expecting a certain outcome from the surgery, wherever you already operate, then what could be going on and how far and how advanced is it? So we just don't know. We don't know. But do not assume that this was just the easy nip, 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 tuck, nip, and it's over with. We don't know. They found cancer someplace else. And let me say, from the way they told it, it seemed like the cancer was someplace else, not necessarily in that area. So whatever the whatever it is, how far along is it? How far advanced is it? Um, he's going for treatment, and that's all they said. They haven't said what kind of treatment, as far as I know, but that is compelling. That is so compelling that they said it was not cancerous, right? And then days later, we find out, well, there was cancer present, and he's back in London for treatment. So that, I'm just going to say, I'm not wishing anything bad on Charles. That don't sound good. That don't sound good. That means there was something somewhere that went unnoticed. And with him affording the best possible medical care, if something like this can creep up on you, what does it mean for the average, typical person? What does it mean for the average person, the average citizen or subject of the crown? What does it mean? Okay, let me see here. Uh, Lisa D says Jim was the Queen's favorite grandchild. Jim was the Queen's favorite. If you mean Harry, right?
Was that a typo? Because this is what I've always heard, that Harry was the favorite. Harry could get the queen to do things that nobody else could do, like the pretense to jump out of a helicopter, the idea that, oh gosh, what was the other one? Oh, the for the Invictus games, where the queen goes, "Oh, really? Oh, really?" But yes, thank you, Lisa D, for your super chat. Do I have that one? Let me see. Do I have that one? Let me check. Take a look here. Uh oh Lord, what is that one? That would have been Invictus, right? Invictus. Huh, I don't think I have it. Oh, that would have been fun to watch, though. That would have been fun. But yeah, don't have that one. Okay, let's keep it moving then. Okay, and so this is the statement. Oh, V. Bram. Oh, that was kind of weak, wasn't it? Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being here tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Uh, oh, that was with Obama? Which one? Okay, so take a look. There's Charles in the doorway. Not sure which residence that is, but that halo effect from the chandelier, I don't know if I'm happy with that one. So it's, oh God, that is so small. That is so small. Let me see. During King Charles' recent hospital procedure for benign prostate enlargement, a separate issue of concern was noted. Subsequent diagnostic tests have identified a form of cancer. Trying to listen to these words very carefully. His Majesty has been uh, commenced. I'm sorry. His Majesty has commenced his schedule of regular treatment, during which time he has been advised by doctors to postpone public facing duties. Throughout the period, His Majesty will continue to undertake state business and official paperwork as usual. Okay. Let me see. The king is grateful to the medical team for which, I'm sorry, for the medical team for their swift intervention, was made possible thanks to the recent hospital procedure. He remains wholly positive. Oh God, that's small. About his treatment and look forward to returning to a full public duty as soon as possible. His Majesty has chosen to share his diagnosis to prevent speculation and in the hope it may assist public understanding for all those around the world who are affected by cancer. So, Charles is telling all to help people, whereas the Cambridges or the Welleses, they're saying nothing to protect Kate's privacy, right? And now, totally different from the Queen, Charles has gone on to say, okay, there is a cancer present, but they're treating it. And again, that's why I said they're saying that while they were treating one cancer, they noticed that there was something of concern someplace else. This does not sound like something so routine to me. This does not have the sound of being just
routine. It doesn't speak of a routine anything. Let me see. Roseanne Campbell, let me see. He started chemo and out for about a year. So it is cancer. That is at least stage 2 or 3, possibly. They just haven't said where. I live in the UK, regular reports. Ooh, okay. It sounds ominous to me. It sounds foreboding to me. Yeah. And again, you have to really, really pay attention to the language that they're using because yes, they are trying to inform, but they're not trying to give you everything. Um, yeah. I mean, in that they want to try to downplay the serious concerns. So, oof, oof, oof. And I shouldn't say, but let me just tell you, I have been down that road with family where cancer is concerned, and it can take some unpredictable turns. And that's just all I'll say about it, but not necessarily a turn for the worse. It can also go the opposite direction and pleasantly surprise everybody involved. And that's what's so tricky about it. But what's most important is your faith, is your ability to stay positive. I really do believe that makes a difference. You cannot go into something like this being defeatist. Yeah, you cannot accept. You have to fight with everything you got. You cannot be defeatist. And my own personal belief, I think that makes a heck of a difference what kind of outcome you have. Some things are just plain out of our control, but not everything. So, you know, Charles has been doing the holistic, organic, and all that kind of stuff. And maybe down the line, that will, um, be the thing that saves him or buys him more time or whatever. So, thank you, Roseanne Campbell, and thank you for the super chat. Wow, you guys, this is Lisi D. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here tonight on Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Kim Peaches says, Baron, I believe King and his brother Edward are both fighting this cancer, possibly, allegedly. Kate has had major surgery, and we haven't seen her. Princess Diana saw it. Good King Harry William is in the wind somewhere. Well, Kim Peaches, I tell you, in the coming days, all shall be revealed. Now is no telling. Yes, thank you, VS. VS just said something that I forgot to mention, but I was definitely thinking about that earlier. The Queen had cancer and they said nothing. We looked at purple, veiny hands. We looked at she remember her eyes were all red like she had like she had been through it. The bruises and everything on her legs, we saw it all, and they would not tell it. And Charles is being incredibly forthcoming in a way that seems to lend protection or a diversion for someone else in the family. You cannot ignore that. It's not going to change um, anything for me directly that we know one way or the other.
It's not going to have a direct effect on me. But as I am concerned about the Sussexes, and as I am witnessing another rollout being deferred and kicked down the road because of yet another crisis, how many times is this going to happen before it starts looking weird? It looked weird the first time. Harry and Meghan poised to make this big, year evolve all the way to the countdown. See, it should have been so much Harry and Meghan from September 22 until the Invictus games. We should have seen all Harry, all Meghan, all the time. Now, I'm exaggerating, of course, but we were supposed to see them. They had all these projects lined up. Meghan was supposed to accept an award. Harry was and Meghan were supposed to go to the Well Child. Look at how many things was put on hold. The date of the book release, I believe that moved, didn't it? The what else? The docu-series that moved. I think they moved quite a few things around out of respect for the Queen. Now you have Harry's father with this prolonged, drawn out treatment. And whatever the outcome is, it is going to affect what they can and cannot do. And the tabloids are going to exploit that to try to keep Harry and Meghan in a box. They did that with Catherine. How was he going out and accept an award and they tried. And it may have been enough to keep Meghan away because they wanted to do that comparison of Meghan on another red carpet while Kate is in hospital, right? And the Sussexes didn't give them the benefit. And that was a bone of contention with the tabloid media. So this is why I say, if you seem to believe that none of this affects them, it does, because the tabloid media is going to use it. And even though they're lies, even though they're gross exaggerations, it is enough to create hostility against the Sussexes. Unfair as it is, it creates a hostility. It makes people who are unaware of the facts ask questions about things that they know very little about. So I don't like that. I don't like that for the Sussexes. They need to be able to flourish without this lingering cloud of despair back in the UK. They just cannot seem to escape it, and I am frustrated by it. I want them to move on and progress and to live out loud, to live their best lives. But now it seems like here comes another derailment. Even if it was Camilla who was having the problem, they would find some way to make it wrong for Harry and Meghan. And I'm very frustrated by that. Very, very frustrated. Thank you, BS. Okay, I better keep it moving because I'm so far behind with these comments. Sorry about that, but this is heavy business. Heavy business. Okay. Okay, George Walker says in order to determine whether it was cancer or not, a biopsy had to be taken and sent out to a lab to provide a cancer diagnosis. I believe he possibly allegedly has prostate cancer. Well, they did say they were looking at one thing and they found something else. So, um, either way, it and of course, it is not. It is not necessarily um, the end of the world for Charles. He's not at the end of the road at this point. We don't know. But the Secretary of Defense of the United States, Lloyd Austin, I think he just went through prostate cancer. And, well, he seems to be doing okay right now. He was able to go back to work. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Thank you for your comment. Now, this is something else that kind of threw people. Why is everybody wearing black? Why is everybody wearing black? Why are people dressed like there's some type of statement, like they're waiting for the word? This looks very London Bridge, right? This is looking very, very London Bridge. Why is this big coincidence of black outfits? Did the reporters themselves just kind of, I don't know, have that knee jerk reaction and decided, oh, I better go as dark as possible today? But why are they all wearing black? That seemed strange. That seemed rather strange. And so there were people today that were speculating that we were going to get word about a family member. And do remember, there are some people in that family that can barely walk because they are in such poor health and they're older and they're in very, very poor health. Um, yeah, you can just think of two or three of them off the top of your heads, I'm sure. And I do know that I've heard that maybe one or two of them have been ailing over the past few years, and their workload has almost all but disappeared. So yeah, it could be several people in that family. It doesn't have to necessarily be, oh, we're preparing just in case there's something about this or that. No, we don't know what it could be. It could be something that we haven't thought of, or someone we haven't thought of yet. So truth is, we're not going to hear. Well, who knows? They may come on in the wee hours of the morning and have something to say. So I can't say never. But yeah, that was very strange that they all seem to be wearing black. I mean, they showed up like they did on London Bridge. Yes, exactly. Exactly. They wore black when the Queen passed. That is what the media do. They have a protocol that they wear black. They wear black. The royals travel with black outfits. So just in case somebody in the family pass, they will have their black outfits. you know, do you all remember when I was having that little verbal exercise when I mentioned that what if William is unable to come back to work? Do y'all remember that? And what if Kate is unable to come back to work? But let's forget about Kate. Kate's not a blood-born family member. But I did say, what if Willie and Kate could not come back to work? What of that? Then George will need a regent. George may need a regent. It could be possible that both of them are ill-suited, unsuitable, unfit for work. It is possible that the two of them are, for whatever reason. Baking soda, genetics, um, body dysmorphia. It could be several things, several reasons why they're not showing up. Um, William is not prepared. He is frighteningly not prepared. He's not prepared. Neither one of them. Um, the Queen's father, with his notorious speech impediment, he always had the Queen mother to lean on, to seek uh, comfort or whatever for his speech impediment, you know? And I don't know that the Cambridges have that for each other, right? I don't know that they have that for each other. I'm not going to say never, but um, yeah. Anyway, so let me keep it moving. Take a look at a couple of your comments. Oh, okay. Thank you, Susie Q. Valerie McNair, I don't know. Like, that's why I cautioned it could be anybody in that family. There are several older and ill people in that family. And if it's any of the royal family members, they will wear black, right? And you know, I don't want to say it, but yeah, it could be, well, I'm not going to say who, but if it's any of the family members, um, because there's older people, so let's just not limit it to the obvious. Let's assume that it could be one of several people um, that is related to either that or it's a massive coincidence. But it is strange. It is very strange. And even this person right here. So credit to the Sussex squad on Twitter. Someone went and took all of these slides or these, screenshots, because people kept saying over and over again, why are they wearing black? Why are they wearing black? And then someone said, well, why don't you put some slides together? So they did. Just these four people. Uh, well, five if you include this other one. But yeah, these 4 or 5 people. And then he seems to have a black suit on under his overcoat, right? So if the incident arose, he would be able to just strip off that top layer and possibly he's in a black suit, which would be the height of clever. But again, we just don't know. We have no way of knowing unless they make an announcement. And it can be one of several people in that family. It does not have to be someone who has been obviously sick recently. So, well, I said obviously. It could be someone in the extended family that we didn't think about. So, okay. Let me see here. Yeah, guys, I just looking at you all saying that, I get that weird feeling in my stomach. I mean, oh boy, that would be a disaster. So I hope that that's not the case. You know, um, I just hope that's not the case because it is a lot happening fast. And ultimately, my goal is the protection the safety of the Sussexes. I just don't want them caught up in some palace intrigue, especially when they could be in Montecito minding their own business. You know what I mean? Okay. Enters the albino assassin. Not to disparage people that are albino, but I refer to her as the albino assassin. She looks like those villains from those Hollywood movies that just happen to have a lack of pigmentation and that, you know, bleachy blonde hair. So, Maureen Callahan, how hard it must have been for Harry to hear the sad news about Charles' cancer diagnosis from so far away. Now he flies home. Could this be the start of a heartwarming royal reconciliation? In other words, can Harry come out to play, right? Can Harry come out to play? It sounds almost childlike. Can Harry come out to play? Is she makes it sound like his kids or something. When the truth is they have been terrible to Harry. They have been cruel. They have been malicious. It's just not that casual that Harry will be thinking, oh, well, all of these things happen. But just like a Hollywood movie, all is forgiven. All is forgiven. I don't know Harry. I can't speak to what his thoughts are. I mean, if that's how he feels about it, but I doubt it. Too much has been said, too much has been done. And then let's look at the underlying point of this article. Is this the start of trying to lure Harry back into the fold? Is this the start of luring Harry back into the fold? Are they going to have more of these articles in the next few days where they're going to discuss the virtues of being with family during a time of crisis, even if that family tried to destroy you? I mean, one wonders. One wonders. Let's see. Marshall says, Baron, remember Harry said he can never get out of the monarchy. He seems sad when he said that. Harry may sense he will be regent for George. I'm preparing to hear that one day. It saddens me. Well, Harry, I don't think he willingly gave up his council of state. Harry believes in the monarchy. Harry does not reject the idea of monarchy, right? He doesn't outright reject it. Harry wants to work to make the monarchy better. Harry's goal was to get the family to be better, do better in the Commonwealth. Harry was hoping that his popularity in the Commonwealth and that of Meghan's would be enough to usher in a new beginning, a more just, I would imagine, Commonwealth or whatever. But I think that was Harry's goal, was, the celebrity, if you will, the soft power of the monarchy could be used to improve lives, not to improve the wealth of the and power and prestige of the royal family, but to help the people in the Commonwealth. Now, I'm kind of glad in a way that we'll never know, because I can't help but think that they would have exploited the Sussexes and have gotten them in the middle of some terrible things that they could have just as easily have stayed out of. I just don't trust that family. I don't trust that institution. And I wince
to think of how much problems it could have caused Harry and Meghan to have been involved with that Commonwealth. How much of a problem it would have caused them to be associated with that Commonwealth. So maybe, as I often say, God will sometimes do for you what you cannot do for yourself. And God said unto thee, get thee out of there, Harold. Get thee out of there, Rachel. Go on to thee, Canada, and live well and prosper, right? And then God said unto thee, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't mean Canada. I meant Montecito. Yeah. Go ye on to Montecito. Where's that at? Yeah. In Santa Barbara. Go ye on to, just go. Right? Just go. Just get out of there. Any place but the UK. I mean, I hate to put words in the maker's mouth, but just go. You better get out of there. You better get out of there. You're going to be crying like a rat eating onions. You better get to stepping. Harry, huh? Meghan, what? Get to stepping. Get to stepping. And they left. When that voice in your head say, get to stepping, get to stepping. Don't be looking around. Don't be investigating. Don't be like, gee, that looks peculiar. Don't do that. Run. When that voice say run, you better run. Make haste. Get on the first thing smoking and get out of there while you can. Don't be a fool. So that's what they said unto these Sussexes. Get thee out of there before they hand you your behind. So they left. They did the only thing that they could think proper and wise. They got out of there. Y'all like my interpretation of the Bible? That's my interpretation of the Bible. Get thee onto the commercial airliner and get thyself out of there. And take your wife and your kids too. Run. Before it's too late. I'm sure that's in Corinthians or something like that. Maybe in, yeah, it's probably, that sounds very Corinthians to me. Or the Polynesians or somebody. Somebody said it. It might have been them Nigerian ancestors. Yep, come to think about it. It might have been them Nigerian ancestors. But somebody said go. And sometimes it's best not to sit around looking crazy. Get to stepping. Yeah, Joanna Hung, we're on the same page. Let's just hope it's not some kind of way to, because this coincidence, this huge coincidence. So that's enough of that for now. But I just want to remind you guys that the last time Harry and Meghan had a big rollout coming, the Queen died. Now it seems like here comes another thing to derail their, and I'm, of course, not saying this to disparage Charles in any way during this time of bad news or whatever and uncertainty about Kate. But it just seems like a mighty, mighty, mighty coincidence. Here's another one. The king needs William, and now the Prince of Wales needs Harry. There are hopes the Prince of Wales and Duke of Sussex can reconcile. What they have in common is their shared love for their darling pa, their papa, darling pa. Yeah, that's what they have in common. And then after that, it just kind of drops off the cliff, doesn't it? After that, they don't seem to have much in common. Not at all. Their choice of women, their types of approaches to humanitarian issues, none of that is consistent. The only thing that they have in common is their love for Papa. And of course, as I said, they have said Camilla doesn't seem to be doing so well. But I tell you, Camilla has not created a behind print in about 2 weeks. She'd have been jumping around so much. You know how that you get up out of the chair for a while and there's a little booty print. She don't make booty prints because she don't sit down long enough. First of all, she's an immortal, so she doesn't even produce a shadow. When she looks in the mirror, there's nothing there. When they try to listen to her heart, there isn't one, so there's no heartbeats. And then, of course, because she's been so busy trying to enjoy this newfound popularity, they say, she don't sit down long enough to put a butt print in the chair because she's back at the hospital. She's back over here and back over there. And they said that Camilla knew about this diagnosis and kept it to herself while she was out on engagements. What does that tell you? She is enjoying this newfound popularity. Yep. She's constantly on the go and just smiling and laughing. She's having a good time. She is having a good time for somebody who has heard some of the worst possible news you could imagine. She out there just grinning and grinning and grinning. Well, that, like I said, propaganda. I said propaganda, who knows? But William seems to be rather annoyed with his father. I believe, if I recall, Charles was trying to get William and possibly Harry involved with the Prince's Trust. Well, Harry, at some point, knew that he wasn't going to be there long anyway. And of course, could you imagine if the Prince's Trust was given over to Willie and Harry? Then, of course, Willie wasn't going to let Harry do anything without his approval and shade. Or if he was just giving it to Willie and Willie wasn't going to do anything, or I believe he just rejected it. I believe that William was so ornery that he wanted to establish his own Prince's Trust. But he's just too lazy and doesn't have enough creativity to do things like that. So it took about 40 years to get Earthflop, but we got there in the end, didn't we? Ladies and gentlemen, Earthflop. Thank you so much, Carl. Is it Cal Alston? Thank you so much for your comment. Let me see. YM Droid says only hoof prints from from Camilla bolting out for headlines. Well, of course, it's easy to know where she's going to pop up next because they say that there's an informant in Clarence house. Hello? 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 Yes, hello. Is this the Daily Mail? Senior Royal here. I said Senior Royal here. Hello. No, I'm not trying to sound posh. I always talk like this. Hello. Senior Royal here. No, I'm not a man. This is the Queen Consort, Senior Royal here. So that is, maybe that's how it's done. Anyway, thank you so much, YM Droid, for the comment, and thank you so much for being here tonight. Leg says, I don't trust these vipers. They're trying to drag Harry into this missing Kate mess. So offense, but I don't think about it is above them to lure Harry. Yeah, I don't think it's above them to try to lure Harry. They may try to set up some scenario where Harry can do what he offered to do a long time ago, half in, half out. All you have to do is, make an offer that can't be refused. But the other thing you have to do is make it to somebody else because Harry's not interested no more. Harry's got a life in California. He has a home in California. If this was the intention, then you should have said something sooner before he built such a very comfortable life for himself out in Santa Barbara, Montecito, the unincorporated area. Yeah, you should have said something sooner. But since you didn't, they have a home and responsibilities. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Legs. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. 1,969 people in the live. Please make sure that you subscribe. Like, subscribe, and share. Otherwise, I am going to call the powers that be, and I am going to have them place a story about how people are neglecting to share, like, and subscribe Royal Sussex. Now, if I just knew someone who can get it in all the papers. Hello, Senior Royal here. Anyway, I'm just being silly. Thank you so much, Legs. Hello. I said hello. Okay. So right here, King Charles has 5 children. Did I mishear or did she misspeak? So I believe this was actually recorded by Dr. Shola Moshong Mimu, right? So let me play that sound bite. You have to listen carefully because you can barely hear, but she repeats it. But I'm gonna attempt to play it anyway. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. I know what I got to do. I got it. Nobody help me. I got it.
Yeah, we know that King Charles told all of his 5 children personally.
5 what?
That, of course, included the Duke. Yeah, we know that King Charles told all of his 5 children personally.
Five what?
Diagnosis that, of course, included the Duke.
She said, yeah, we know the king told all of his 5 children. Now, where that comes from is unclear. She obviously are speaking. Actually, I don't know who she's speaking about. Let me see. She couldn't be talking about the Parker Bowles children, could she? There's Harry, his brother, and then who else? Because if that includes grandchildren, I really doubt that Charles got on the phone and spoke to any of his grandchildren, including George. So what 5 grandchildren? I mean, what 5 children could she have referred to? What 5 children? Where'd that come from? 5 children? 5 children. Yeah, that would include those Camilla's litter. That would include Camilla's litter. Or flock. Yeah, that would include Camilla's flock. Let me see. Hard to say, Sash. It's hard to say exactly what the okie doke is. Okay, let's continue. So, take a look at this. We wish you well. We wish you well. We wish you well. Now, there is a message to Charles from the hundreds that are gathered outside of Buckingham Palace, right? Now, there's no standard flying above the palace right now. Can you see the light pole there? The flagpole? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. There's a side view that is a standard. Okay, I think I was looking at it straight on. That is a royal standard. So maybe Charles is in residence. I didn't think he ever stayed at Buckingham Palace. I thought he was devoted to Clarence House and Highgrove, among other places. But anyway, that crowd right there is there to support Charles. I guess it's one of those things where they say, well, as soon as we heard, we rushed right over. But can I show you guys something? What crowd? Why did the Daily Mail try to use this image of 5 huddled masses yearning to stay warm by the Victoria Memorial at the Buckingham Palace? I believe that's Victoria Memorial. How is this supposed to represent the crowd of hundreds, possibly thousands, that have flocked to Buckingham Palace so that they could hold a vigil for Charles and a 75-year-old man who's pretty much lived his life, in comparison to a 42-year-old woman who, much to everybody's surprise, has had abdominal surgery? My point is, if there wasn't a vigil for any of them outside of St. Charles, what are the chances? Well, anyway, I'm just saying. I lost my train of thought, but let me see. People standing outside Buckingham Palace after the king's diagnosis was announced. This almost looks like that crowd that was outside of the Earth Flop, right? Maybe they grew up. Maybe the Earth Flop crowd grew up. See there? This was supposed to be the biggest event of its kind anywhere on the planet, where thousands of people were going to flock to the entrance of the earth flop so that they could look at those big celebrities entering the building wearing repurposed clothing. And then, of course, when you take a look at the background, all you see is this one family that were on their way to Waitrose. They weren't there for some cock and bull earth flop. They were just curious, why are all these reporters and such out here? That's why they were there. So trippy. But the Daily Mail, I guess you have to have some shame and humility to think that this photo was going to lend to this idea that there was this huge vigil that is outside of Buckingham Palace. I don't even see a banner saying "Get well, Charlie." I don't see any flowers. I don't see anything. None of them are carrying flowers. These are just tourists who happen to be in front of Buckingham Palace, like so many tourists have done, and somebody snapped the photo for them. Right? They don't care. They don't give a zip about them. Yeah, that's silly. And that caption comes from the article. People stand outside Buckingham Palace in London after King's diagnosis was announced. You mean to tell me those millennials raced down to Buckingham Palace in the middle of the night to hold a vigil for Charles? The man who, along with his emotional support, Camilla, his son and his daughter-in-law, may have possibly ran the Sussexes out of town, right? And those are the people that are going to have a vigil? I don't think so. Yeah, that's supposed to be the vigil. I mean, look at there. It's the same photo from the paper. How did they think they were going to use that photo from the article and give you this sense of thousands of people, even hundreds of people gathered at the Buckingham Palace? Who, what? What? Let me see. That's the media who works behind the scenes, Baron. Oh, you mean like the producers and the writers and such? Okay, well that makes sense. That no wonder they're so unprepared for the temperatures. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. You get a bell for that. Okay, John Oliver told Meghan to run from the royal family. They are evil. Really, he should have. Somebody should have said it. Okay, let me continue. So, as we know, Meghan and Harry was so beloved by the Queen. She even had that one of those photos from the prayer vigil at St. Paul's Cathedral mounted and framed so that she can put it over her bed or in her reading room. Well, anyway, she wanted a photo of Meghan and Harry. It's a little too big for her to put it in her purse, so she had them, mounted on an easel so that, when she's going past, like when she's on her way to walk the corgis or something, Harry and Meghan will be there, because that's the kind of relationship that she had with the Sussexes. Nothing was too much, so she had them take one of those images so she can put it in her pool room or something, her gift room, when she's sitting up there wrapping those gifts at Christmas. She have Harry and Meghan to keep her company. That's why she had that made. So who knows where it is now, but maybe it's at the National Portrait Gallery or something. But whatever it is, that's our faves. That's our faves. Okay. And am I done? Well, I guess I'm almost done. But you guys, there has been so much said about the Sussexes. There's been even more said about Meghan's sinister intentions to try to bring down the royal family. Harry and Meghan want to destroy the royal family. And there are people that are buying it. They look at photos and see what they want to see. You don't see me doing that. When I see a photo, I tell the truth. The Queen wanted this poster of the Sussexes made for her to carry around, but she realized it wouldn't fit in her purse. So she had to mount it on, a very simple frame to go over her dining room table. So when she was eating alone, she didn't feel so lonely. So you see, I tell the truth. Yeah, I always tell the truth. Okay. So anyway, that's why I say to you guys, there's no merit to this argument that the Sussexes have some ulterior motives. Harry still loves his family, no matter how terrible they've been, and you know he's been reaching out, and now he's waiting for them to apologize. Otherwise, there's nothing to move on to, right? And I hope that he maintains that um, way of dealing with his family. Okay, so there was no little Meghan with horn rimmed glasses running around plotting to rid the world of the royal family, and there was no Harry going about trying to, they were just kids and they grew up and they finally found each other. And life has been great ever since. And we get the privilege of watching them just be themselves. And that never gets old to me. I love to see the Sussexes interacting and doing great things. And I hope that continues for a very long time. Okay. Lex says, this is giving TM heart attack excuse, no offense. Yes, Legs. Well, I can't get over the fact that there is a gross, and I do mean a gross coincidence, where the Sussexes were ready to launch again, only for someone to take ill in the family. And this time it seems like there's multiple people that have taken ill in the family. And I hate it, but that's the way it is. We just have to, hope that oh gosh, what are we hoping for? This is going to be tough. We just have to. Anyway, I hope they all right. Yeah, that's it. I hope they all right. Right. When in doubt, just say, I hope they all right. I hope they all right. When in doubt, I hope they all right. So that's it. I don't have anything else to add to it. They'll be all right. And what else? Oh, this is the last thing I want to share with you. This is the last thing. Someone has been posting memes, including, this one of Diana wearing that famous black dress and wielding a saber. I don't get it. I don't know why she's running around like that. It's none of my business, but a saber, wielding a saber and wearing the black dress. I don't get it. If you guys know what this is in reference to, it just doesn't make any sense to me, as I say in a very coy and, shall we say, flippant voice. I just don't understand it. What is supposed to be so funny about this? I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. Is it because it's a cloudy day? Is it because I don't know. I don't know what it symbolizes, but oh well. Just write me about it later. And it's a weird time to try to um what is it? What am I trying to say? It's a weird time to bring up the People's Princess, but so okay, you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, a little over 2 hours. That's not bad. Thank you for the super chats and super stickers. Thank you, especially you guys that have long-term memberships in Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. And thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. That's also greatly appreciated. And, I think that's it. Let me see. Okay, hello. Wait, what does that say? Hello. Oh, yeah. Ruth, we're not sure about the black outfits. We're not sure. But remember what I said. It could be any member of the family. It doesn't have to be, any one single person in particular. It could mean any member of that family, not necessarily someone that we suspect. So we have to wait and see if they have something to say. But there could be one of the older relatives that is not doing well. Maybe. Not sure. It is spooky, though. It is spooky. Let me go back to that photo. Let me go back to that photo where you can see the reporters. It is a bit. Oh, no, that's not it. But it is a bit spooky to look at these reporters wearing their black outfits. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Black attire test run. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. Maybe they're just testing. Maybe it was like an exercise to see who's ready, just in case they need to be ready. Okay, so I tell you what, you guys, to finish off tonight, that video that I was showing you bits and pieces of, where the Sussexes was being so warmly greeted in Dusseldorf, I'm going to play that, the rest of it. I'm going to play that. So if you choose to stay and watch the rest of it, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, I am done for today. Love you guys. I will see you next time. And remember to pray for the Sussexes as well as the rest of Harry's family. Because, as they say, the devil is in the details. And I feel like there's some mischief going on. I'm not sure what the play is. I'm not sure what game there, what angle the institution is on, but I just don't want any negative effects on the Sussexes. So since you were going to pray for the rest of his family anyway, just make sure you throw a few extra words in there for the Sussexes. Okay. Let me see. Don't want to waste your prayers, huh? Uh, okay. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna play the rest of that video. So thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. It has been a pleasure as per usual, and of course, the people that brought us all together, the two moms that created some very extraordinary people that are doing some incredible things in this world, especially if the troublemakers would just leave them alone. Just think of all the amazing stuff that these Sussexes could do if they would just leave them alone. But anyway, our Mama Doria and Flower and Good King Harry, and of course the People's Princess. So, okay, with that, you guys, I'm going to finish that video, and I love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow, and our last word of the day is, oh gosh, what is the last word of the day? Don't accept any wooden nickels. I never knew what that meant, but don't accept any wooden nickels. Okay. All right. Love you guys.
Meghan, you're beautiful!
You're right, please. Turn ahead, please. You're right, please. Sir.
the shirt. Where did you get the shirt from? Do you want to swap?
Yes.
Next time. Next year.
Yes, okay.
Promise me.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. It's beautiful here. It's a beautiful city. Is it always this warm?
No, but it's a nice city. Yes.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Ich finde sie super, ich finde sie sehr viel authentischer als Kate und William. Also ich bin mehr Harry und Meghan Seite. Ich finde es super, dass sie ihr Ding machen, dass sie das Richtige für ihre Familie tun und kann sie da nur unterstützen.
Harry with the baby!
Picture with Daniela.
Harry! Harry! The baby! Harry! Yeah, the baby! The baby! Can I take a picture with the baby? Picture with the baby.
Oh, Daniela.
We love your book. Yes, my daughter loves it. Yes, love it. So thanks for sharing your poem.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's lovely. Oh my goodness.
Guys, watch the pushing, please, okay?
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Thank you so much.
Very, very.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You look like you've been here
That's
for a
your
while.
husband. Oh, you're waiting for 3 hours.
Are you okay? Are you drinking water?
This is Maureen and her husband. This is for you. Thank you.
Hi, Meghan. Nice to meet you. So good. Yeah. That's my wife. Hello.
Oh, nice to meet you.
You live 50 years here.
Oh my goodness.
And you English and German as well?
I am German.
German, so you moved here for him?
That's a beautiful love story.
Yeah.
Everyone
how nice. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank
Harry,
you so
good to
much.
see you.
You are wonderful, Meg. I
Thank
love
you.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. It's lovely to
Very
be
nice to
here.
meet you.
Harry, good to see you. That's my wife, yeah.
Harry, God bless you.
Nice to meet you, Ben.
Covers my sister since 4 o'clock in the morning to meet you.
Oh my goodness, that's so kind. Thank you so much. That's really
Who's
nice.
sharing
Her
it?
letter.
Yes, we
She
will.
is for victim people, and she's for all the people there, and she did a great job.
Oh my goodness.